Now, our next guest has braved some pretty terrifying ordeals.
He survived war zones, jumped out of aeroplanes and even climbed Mount Everest. But former Special Forces soldier Ant Middleton says he's now learned to harness his fear to help him in daily life.
Well, he joins us now to tell us how he does that, and this is all part of his new book, the Fear Bubble. And so this is essentially sort of telling us that fear is not the enemy. And there's one of the bits in this book, I find myself fantasising about terrorist attacks or mass brawls breaking out, building a strategy for dealing with the madness, even on the set of This Morning, waiting to be interviewed by Phil and Holly.
Has this happened this morning?
Are you doing it now? Are you planning
not quite
now?
as bad as that, guys. But no. What I do is when I sort of talk about fantasising, it's about feeling that fear. Because when I feel that fear, even if you imagine it, it makes you feel alive. It sort of gets you ready. It primes your body to get ready. So when you think about it, it sort of stimulates me to get ready
But don't hide it. I mean, revel in it. Enjoy it is essentially what you're saying.
Fear is everyday part of life. You're going to feel it to the day you die. You know, a lot of people experience fear once and they freeze and they never want to visit it again. And if you don't experience fear, if you don't challenge fear, then you're not going to learn about yourself. You're not going to learn what you're capable of, where you can push yourself, where your boundaries are. Therefore, it's important that you expose fear when you can, make it work for you. I mean,
it sort of goes against quite a lot of beliefs that are out there at the moment. And you say that sort of Western culture has a bit of a victim mindset.
Yeah.
And that we're being told that not being OK is OK. And actually, you don't agree with that.
No, I think that, you know, we're being sort of structured in a way to think and how to act. And ultimately, we're all different. We've all got different fears, you know, different ways that we tackle things. It's ultimately just about being honest with yourself. Not letting people dictate what you do or situations dictate what you do. It's obviously defining yourself and being honest with yourself, you know, taking charge of yourself, taking charge of your emotions and fear being the #1 emotion that stops us from achieving everything.
So are you fearless now?
No, definitely not fearless. The moment whoever says they're fearless is lying. You can't be fearless.
So do you seek out fear?
Yeah, I suppose I do. And the reason why I seek out fear is because when you expose fear, and I've had to do it in the military, I've had to expose it on a daily basis going into a combat zone, you take a layer off of it. And then when you take a layer off of it, you learn about the emotion, you learn about your emotion, you learn about yourself, and therefore you grow from it, and you do become a better version of yourself because you start to understand yourself a lot better.
But doesn't that put you and the others around you in dangerous circumstances? Obviously, with Everest, you know, you're doing that for the TV.
Yeah.
The weather was appalling,
Yeah.
and you powered on through. But you powered on through in that terrible weather with a camera crew. Now, as you say, fear is different for everyone. You know, wasn't that selfish?
No, because they actually left. They left me on the summit, and rightly so. You know, when they felt they were in danger.
You just went on your own?
Yeah, I ended up on there by myself for about, you know, a good couple of hours. So the cameraman and his Sherpa went, and that was their decision to go, and rightly so. And it was only a space of, you know, they went 5 minutes before me, but because the sequence of events that happened in between, where a couple of climbers fell off the mountain, where I was stuck on the summit and I couldn't move because there's only one way on and off, that meant a couple of hours in difference of reaching Camp 4, which is still in the death zone. So they did make their own decision ultimately, yeah.
So, for me, feeling fear and feeling scared is like the worst thing imaginable. I avoid it at absolute all costs. I mean, there is not a person that could be more opposite to me than yourself. And I just wonder whether actually, because you're so used to fear, that you somehow feel safe in that life-death situation. And in a way, it forces you to... There's such extreme emotions, then does it take you away from just feeling day-to-day emotions that actually might be more fearful?
Well, Ollie, you've got it in a one there, really. But what it is people think I'm an adrenaline junkie and I chase fear and I chase risk. Ultimately, when you're at that risk of life and death, there's black and white. Life is so simple, it's so uncomplicated. It's the purest form of life. When you're in a situation, whether it's life or death, like I was in Afghanistan, like I was on Everest, you feel peaceful because there's no complications around you. So it's not actually an adrenaline-fueled junky thing that I wanted to do. It's that feeling of euphoria, that feeling of peace, because life is at its purest form. You're either going to live or you're going to die. There's no complications whatsoever. And that's the feeling that I chase, is that ultimate peace. Believe it or not.
Well, you've said that you're okay, that your head is okay. I mean, I can't imagine that human beings were never meant to suffer what you suffered, to see what you saw. And so do you still maintain that you are 100% okay?
Yeah, I do, and I'm very much someone that I don't live in the past, and I certainly don't live in the future. You know, I live in the now. I seize every opportunity now. There's so many bankable moments that we go through on a daily basis that we don't bank and we don't think about because we're either thinking about the past or we're thinking too far into the future. That we just let go by us on a daily basis. And I'm very much someone in the now. I live in the now. I try and learn. I try and challenge everything that my body's. When your body is going against you, it's your body asking questions. It's your body going, well, what's going on there? And we, as humans, we want answers.
Yeah.
So why don't we do it to ourselves? You know, when your body's asking you a question, the only person that really holds the answer, you can be guided and directed, is yourself. So be honest with yourself, and it will stop you from having a victim sort of mindset, as in going, well, actually, I'm a lot more capable than I thought I was. My limits are a lot further than I thought they were. You know, and it's just that restriction. And ultimately, the book is about letting people know what we're capable of. We're incredible humans. You know, we're capable of so much more. Be honest with yourself, grasp fear, and make it work for you.
Well, this is the book that we're talking about. I showed you at the beginning, the fear bubble. We also talked at the beginning about the fact that he fantasises all the time about, you know, sort of getting out of incredibly dangerous situations. I've got to say, you know, if something happens here, I want to be next to you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much.